Because when you do that, your brain isn't on. The only part of your brain that's on is copying. You're not thinking about geometry. You're not thinking about any kind of math. You're just copying. That's not helping you actually learn anything. Not a dadgum thing. Not any dadgums. Make sense? So that might be a good first step in fixing whatever issue is happening. Don't watch it at fast speeds and just copy. Even don't watch it just at slow speeds and just copy. If you find yourself just copying, you ain't never going to pass. Never going to happen. You're not going to pass quizzes. You're not going to pass tests. You got to turn your brain on. You can borrow this horrific hole punch, sure. All right. What questions do you have on the test? $10? Okay. Sure. Oh, those are batteries. Need to get Rochelle next time she goes to Sam's or Costco or wherever we've been getting Sam's probably. Get me some more markers because they're all starting to die except this random orange one that showed up and turned from black to orange randomly one day. All right. Number 10. We're supposed to figure out whether they are parallel, perpendicular, or neither. And the points are A, 4, -2, B, 2, -8. Now I will say going back and watching some of the class videos and re-engaging with some of that is not the worst idea ever. As a part of your study thing. But just watching the lecture videos again that you already have notes on, that's probably not it, Chief. Now, watching other people's lecture videos, go grab, what's his face, Organic Chemistry Tutor, or the other guy, there's a few people that are doing math videos. Watch a different person explaining it, that's not a bad idea. Because then you get it from a different perspective, different words, different voice. So anyway, we're supposed to figure out whether these parallel, perpendicular, or neither. How do we do that? Yep, we're going to use the formula. We're going to use the slope formula, right? Because we're comparing their slopes. If they're parallel, what's going to be true about their slopes? They're the same. Yep, that's right. So what about if they're perpendicular? Yeah, opposite reciprocal, right? Opposite reciprocal. So let's find the slope between A and B. What is the slope formula? X1 is what you're trying to say. Are you crashing out? Okay, so the slope between A and B. What are we going to put right here? -8. What about this one? -2. And this one? 2 and 4. Right? We ka-chink, ka-chink. -8 plus 2 is -6. 2 minus 4 is? So close, but no. -2. Does that reduce to what? That's something that you do on accident a lot. It's not uncommon. Might be some dysgraphia, something going on there a little bit, maybe. But the bigger one's on the top, so it doesn't. When you're reducing, you accidentally flip them on accident. That's not an uncommon thing. I say that may be some dysgraphia, something happening in your brain. I can say that, you're my child. But anyway, it's not 1 negative, 1 positive, any of those words. It is positive. But it's 3 over 1, right? So just 3, right? Which may have been what happened. Yeah, because the bigger one's on top. So don't accidentally switch those fractions. It's easy to accidentally do when you're kind of running these things and you're thinking, oh, it's a fraction. It's got to stay a fraction, right? I think that's kind of what your brain does. It does somersaults and circles on those. You just have to slow down when you're reducing fractions to not make that mistake. All right, what about is going to go here? 5. What about this one? 6. 8. 4. 5 minus 6 is -1, true enough. And then 8 minus 4 is positive, right? Because the bigger one is positive, right? So positive 4. So are they parallel, perpendicular, or neither? They're neither. They don't match, they're not opposite reciprocals, nothing. So you do all that work, you write neither, and then good to go. Make sense? I don't know what you probably did, well, I don't know how you got whatever you, oh, I don't know, something strange. Probably just made a little mistake somewhere, I imagine. Yeah. What other questions do we have on this lesson? I mean, tests. What'd you say? 13. Sure. We want to write an equation in slope-intercept form for the line that passes through -615 is parallel to y equals -3/4 x minus 6. It's parallel to y equals -3/4 x minus 6. So, the fact that our line, the line we're looking for, is parallel to that line, what does that tell us? They're parallel, that's true. What? The slopes are congruent, the slope is the same. So what is the slope of our line, the one we're interested in? -6. -6 is that the slope or is that the y-intercept? What is M? Slope. What is B? The y-intercept, that's right. This has got to be in your head. I cannot stress this enough. You need to know this. This should have been like hardcore memorized, done and dusted in Algebra 1. And if this is not, that when I say this kind of stuff, you got to understand that I am not really yelling. I'm yelling about the future, not about the present. If you have a gap, fine. If it's a gap like this that shouldn't be a gap, what I am saying is you need to fix it. How could you fix it? There's about 3 ways I can think of off the top of my head, straight up. How could you fix it? If you don't know this, if you don't know how to graph a line really well, how could you fix that problem? What? So, yeah, you could make flashcards memorize a thing, but if you didn't know this, you probably didn't even know how to use it. So, yeah, you could make flashcards. What else could you do to fix this gap? The fact that if I told you graph that line, whether you could graph the thing or not, whether you could tell me where the slope is and where the y-intercept is or not, how could you fix that? Okay, so you could go back and watch Algebra 1 videos. True. That's one of the three things that I thought of in my head. What's another way you could do it? So you could, that's kind of a fourth one, sure. I wasn't even talking about tutoring, but yeah, you could. You could schedule some office hours or something. That's potentially fine. Sure. What else could you do? There's two you're missing that I talk about all the flipping time. All the flipping. Yeah, you could go look it up and watch somebody else's video. Read about it somewhere else. There's a fourth one. That's a good one that I don't know whether you've ever done or not, but it's a great one. I cannot stress enough how great it is as extra practice because it's free and it's also good. What's a fourth way? You could go use Khan Academy. Graphing lines, slope-intercept form of a line, Khan Academy. Watch the videos, do the lessons, practice it till you got it. So when I say something like, this is something you need to know in your sleep, and you don't, what I'm telling you is, if you want to succeed going forward, you need to go fill that gap. Honestly, depending on what method you choose, it could take like 20 minutes out of your life. That's it. And then you fixed it. Okay? Back to this. What's the slope of our line? Negative 3/4. Now what? Substitute it into what? Into what? Not what? Yes, but where are we substituting into? I need an equation. I know I already have it on the board, right? But what am I going to substitute into? I know what you're going to say, and I'm going to disregard what you're going to say because they're not going to remember that. But what are you going to say? Substitute it into what? You know what I mean. No, we're looking for B, right? Yeah. We're going to substitute it into this guy. Right? Or point slope. You can use point slope. And you can get there and turn it into slope intercept. If you know point slope, that's a great way to do it. We're going to substitute that in there. What are we going to put for y? 15 sounds grand. Now what are we going to put in for m? Negative 3/4. What are we going to put in for x? Negative 6. What are we going to put in for b? Nothing, just b, right? Good job. Way to go. It's a trick question. You passed. Now what? Yeah, the thing, math, arithmetic. Times is it. We're going to multiply. What's negative 3/4 times negative 6? I'm dying of old age here. You have calculators. Negative 3/4 times negative 6. It is 9/2. Is that what you were going to say? Were you doing that in your head? Good job. Double check it on the calculator. It is 9/2. Good job. Now what? Yeah, subtract what? 9/2 sounds like a good idea. So what does B equal? No. It is 21/2. That's true. Past me has 39/2. 30 minus, oh, no, just kidding. Did I make a mistake? That would be funny. Oh, I did. How many times have I given this test and haven't corrected that mistake? Yeah, 21/2. If I counted off and you got it right, you should let me know, and I will give you points back. Usually I catch that if somebody gets something like this right, and then I got it wrong. Usually I do. But if I didn't this time, let me know, and I will fix your grade, give you whatever points you have back. Totally. I accidentally wrote -9/2 when I was making the key however long ago. Scam. And I was younger than today. That's true. I don't know that I was exactly young. Any other questions today on the test? $15. Oh, wait, no, 14, sorry. Okay, great. Uses that same picture. So the one I printed off for y'all, does it say -3x plus 17 or 173? Because depending on which file I printed it from, it may have done it both. I have both answers in my thing, but the thing screwed up. Does it say, on number 14, does it say measure of angle 1 equals -3x plus 173 or 17? 173. Great. That's what I thought. But I have to double check on this particular problem because some of the printing has errors. Which that one was not even my fault. But if you want to blame me, I'm strong enough to handle it. So this says you want to solve for x and state which postulates or theorems you used to get there. Measure of angle 1 equals -3x plus 173 degrees. The measure of angle 6 equals 4x minus 8. Yeah, that. So, where are they? They're at 1 and 6. Y'all know numbers, right? We don't have that many gaps. So 1 and 6. How are they related? What are they? Do they have names or do they have no names? They're nothing, right? So we got to use something else to get there. What can we use to get there? So we could use vertical angles to get angle 3. So if we use vertical angles, okay? So we use vertical angles to get here. So angle 1 and angle 3, how are they related? They're vertical, so what does that mean? They're congruent or they're supplementary? They're congruent. So those are congruent, right? Now what about 3 and 6? How are they related? Same side interior, so they're same side interior. So vertical angles and same side interior, or consecutive interior if you like that language better. I like same side because same side, some other S word, right? How are they related? Supplementary, same side supplementary, right? So angle 1 and angle 6 then are supplementary, right? What does supplementary mean? It is so true. Equals up to what? 180. You said it right this time. Good job. You got the 90 out of your system. Good job. Okay, so they add up and equal 180. So how do we set up our equation? So -3x plus 173 plus 4x minus 8 equals 180. Now what? Combine like terms. Easy peasy. This one, and this one, and this one, and this one. Negative 3x plus 4x is what? What'd you say? I don't think you said 9. You said something about sigma. I don't know what you said. Negative 3x plus 4x is what? 1x. True enough. X. 173 minus 8 is how many? It's true. It is 160 something. 160 what? I don't think so. Try again. I don't think so. 165. Now what? Somebody's talking to us. Who are they? What are they saying? X equals 9. Sure, that's probably true. Whoever you are. X doesn't equal 9 on this problem, but maybe you're talking about a previous problem. What should we do now? We should subtract. X equals what? Guy in old age here. 105. Definitely not 105. What are you typing? 180 minus 165. Somebody could probably do that in their brain. It is 15. All right, let's do today's work. Read today's answers and then take questions on today's stuff. This, if you've been locking in, you know, and that your mileage may vary. If you've been locking in good, then this unit could be non-trivially easier than the previous units. It could be. We'll see for you whether that's true or false. The proofs are easier. The algebra ones are about the same. And we shall see what happens. We'll see how you feel about it. What does that guy say? 1p? I don't know. What? 15. Oh, 15. Yep, it was 15. Good job, piano dude, whoever you are. All right, we just did 4 1s. Does that sound right? Okay, and what numbers did we do? 16 through 36. 16 is acute. 18 is equiangular. 20 is right. 22 is right. 24 is acute. 26 is equiangular. 28 is isosceles. 30 is scalene. 32 is isosceles. 34 is scalene. 36, x equals 7, the measure of AB equals 7, the measure of BC equals 7, and the measure of CA equals 4. What questions do we have on those? I suspect if there's any, it'd be 36, but I don't know. This is going to be an easier lesson today. They're not all this easy, but they're not bad. The proofs are not bad at all in this unit. Especially comparatively. There are a couple of difficult ones in some of the later lessons, but they're not any more difficult than anything we've done so far, and most of them are easier. Oh, yeah, switching the sides for the angle ones. Yeah. Like you wrote equilateral instead of equiangular, or the other way around. Like, what are you talking about? Like, what number are you talking about? Like 16, what did you say it was? Isosceles. It is isosceles. We actually don't even have the theorem that says it's isosceles yet, but because base angles are congruent, then the sides are also congruent. So yes, it is isosceles, but it wants you to do that with angles, and it says up. It like tells you in the directions what to do. You didn't want to read? Oh my gosh, reading's hard. Yeah, so it's acute. It is technically also isosceles because those 65s are the same. What other questions do we have from this lesson? What? 34, he says. All right, 34, we got all kinds of triangles happening. Yay. Make me work for my dinner. Okay. We got a thing going like, and then this one, and then there's another one. This is totally drawn perfectly like the book. We love it. So true. The cool thing about geometry, I've been saying this since day one, is that if we just go back and say that this is congruent to, actually it's not labeled anything else, this is congruent to that, now it is. Isn't that fun? And that's labeled with that, and this is a 4, and this is an 8. And for 20, you said 34? 34, it wants us to find triangle AED, what it is. All right, so let's find AED first, right? So AED, oh yeah, we got this. Okay, we're gonna scribble all over this page, right? So, not in your actual book, of course, on your little sketch that you do on your thing, yeah. So this is the triangle we are concerned about. All right, so let's kind of go and label some stuff. Like, so this triangle has got some two sides equal, so like ABD is isosceles, right? Or equilateral, maybe. We probably can't prove it directly. What are the tick marks? What does the tick marks mean about this and this? So are these AC and AE, are they congruent? Yes or no? How do you know? What makes AC and AE congruent? This one has 2 tick marks, and that one has 3 tick marks. So maybe, but we don't know, right? It doesn't tell us anything. For AED, which is what we're looking at, this side and this side aren't congruent, and this side, who the heck knows? So what is this triangle? Are the sides congruent? Are some of the sides congruent? Are none of the sides congruent? None. What's none of the sides congruent called? You were closer to begin with. It's an S word, right? Scalene. This would be the part of the unit. This first, it's usually the first lesson. Part of the first lesson gives you a lot of vocabulary. This would be where you make the flashcards. You make sure you know the things. Luckily for this one, there's like 1 or 2 new words, right? You probably knew what acute was before you watched the video. You probably knew what obtuse was before you watched the video. You almost certainly knew what a right triangle was before you watched the video, right? So words like scalene are the only new ones, right? That's easy money. So even more ways that this lesson is easier. Need to start hiring a moderator to moderate the chat. You're right, piano. Sorry, you're delayed over there. I don't even know how much delayed. We could do a test and find out. What are the questions from this lesson? Did we get 36? Okay. Well, then let's take a quiz. And then we shall be done today. Yeah. That seems reasonable for this day's lesson. Quiz 4-1, page. Oh, look, past me already decided what to do. Oh yeah, I agree, but I'm gonna add some. 240 numbers. I want to do 5, 9, 12, and 13. Ready, set, go. Goodbye, piano. We're signing off. Hope you've enjoyed your geometry lesson. See you later for whatever else you decide to jump in on.